evening, and welcome to the Cuyahoga Falls Amateur Radio Club's Monday evening transmission of Amateur Radio Newsline. My name is Russ, and my call is KV8VYT. But for this presentation of Newsline, I will be using the club call Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor. Without further ado, this is Amateur Radio Newsline.
Amateur Radio Newsline report number 2480 with a release date of Friday, May 9th, 2025. The follow in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The following is a QST. The FCC proposes changes for testing electronics made overseas. A first for a disaster training workshop in India, and weather balloons litter a scenic beach in Australia. All this and more as Amateur Radio Newsline report number 2480 comes your way right now.
From around the world, this is Newsline, Amateur Radio's independent, on-the-air news and bulletin service. Now, reporting from Union, Kentucky, here's Neil Rapp, W8VPV.
Our top story this week is all about electronics that are made for the U.S. market but tested overseas. The U.S. regulator is preparing to change where that testing can and cannot be done. Here's Kent Peterson, KC0DGY, with the details.
The FCC plans to tighten its requirements for the testing of electronic devices manufactured in countries such as China before they can be sold to U.S. consumers. The Commission will review an order this month that bans device testing conducted by labs that are, quote, owned, controlled, or directed by entities that pose national security risks, according to a statement by FCC Commissioner Brendan Carr. He identified China as one example of such a country. He said it was important that U.S.-based labs begin taking the responsibility to certify such equipment. According to Carr's statement, Chinese labs test about 3/4 of all electronics sold in the U.S. The Commission will consider the new order in its open meeting on May 22nd. This is Kent Peterson, KC0DGY.
Never mind space junk from decommissioned satellites. Right here on Earth, pieces of weather balloons have been littering one beach in Australia. John Williams, VK4JJW, brings us up to date.
Remnants of latex rubber weather balloons and foam boxes with scientific instruments washed up recently on the southwest coast of Victoria, where they were discovered by beach patrol crews. According to local media, the half dozen or so balloons were carrying a radio sonde to measure temperatures, wind speed, wind direction, and relative humidity. The balloons had been launched from Tasmania for a research project hosted by the Commonwealth Scientific and Industrial Research Organisation, the Australian Bureau of Meteorology, and the U.S. Department of Energy. The launch site on the northwest tip of Tasmania is considered the location of the planet's purest air, making it a preferred spot for scientists' climate studies. Heath Powers, the project's operations manager, said in an Australian Broadcasting Corporation report that scientists are testing more eco-friendly ways to conduct these studies without creating such an impact on marine life. This is John Williams, VK4JJW.
In a little more than a month, the U.S. will stop supporting 3 satellites in its important group of weather observers. Cell MB KP3TZD tells us what that means.
3 U.S. government weather watching satellites have been scheduled to formally enter the end-flight stage on June 15th by the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration. NOAA has announced that the satellites 15, 18, and 19, which are part of the Polar Operational Environmental Satellite, or POLE, will no longer be updated or repaired. As quoted in the blog usradioguide.com, NOAA said that this means signals will continue to be transmitted, but should not be used by anyone for purposes involving safety or other critical matters. Hobbyists will still be able to download weather satellite imagery either via automatic picture transmission on 137 MHz with a D-dipole antenna, or via high-resolution picture transmission on 1.7 GHz with the tracking dish antenna. Like the other POSE satellites, this trio had provided data that was used in monitoring the environment, forest fires, volcanic eruptions, and global vegetation. This is Selemi, KB3TZD.
As the days wind down towards opening day of Hamvention in Xenia, Ohio, organizers report brisk ticket sales and the hope to match or exceed last year's attendance of more than 35,000 guests over the 3 days. A team of 700-plus volunteers will be there starting on May 16th to make everyone welcome. This year's theme is Radio Independence, and for 3 days, it will pervade the 4 meeting halls where the forums are taking place. Tickets can be purchased at the box office outside the main entrance gate. For additional details, visit hamvention.org. The ARRL is also encouraging visitors to download the Hamvention app, which includes the full program and affiliated events. Find the link to download the app in the text version of this week's newscast at arnewsline.org. Thanks to an infusion of money from Amateur Radio Digital Communications, the massive collection at the Digital Library of Amateur Radio and Communications can keep growing and growing. Randy Sly, W4XJ, has those details.
The collection of digitized newsletters, magazines, and online media at the Digital Library of Amateur Radio and Communications keeps growing. And now the library has something else to add to its hefty collection, a second grant from Amateur Radio Digital Communications, the group that provided the original grant that first helped bring this library of amateur radio's international history to life. Kay Savitt's K6KJN, the library's curator, said in the Zero Retries newsletter that the funding will permit the free library's continued operation for another 2 years. He said Phase 2 of the library's operation will include acquiring and digitizing material from the California Historical Radio Society and the Spark Museum of Electrical Invention. The library's most recent acquisitions include the Wireless Institute of Australia's Amateur Radio magazine from 1933 through 2012 and dozens of new issues of the DX Bulletin. Still celebrating the support, Kay wrote in the newsletter, quote, "Excuse the mess. There's still confetti all over the floor of DLARC World Headquarters," end quote. This is Randy Sly, W4XJ.
The CQ Amateur Radio Hall of Fame, which is now overseen by Ham Gallery, has announced the trio of inductees for 2025. We hear more about them from Travis Lisk in 3ILS.
The 3 newest CQ Hall of Famers who were chosen following a nomination process that ended in April include 1 Silent Key. The inductees are Wayne Overbeck, N6NB, who became a Silent Key last month, Angel M. Vasquez, WP3R, and Jim Brinkall, W8VPV. Wayne, who became a Silent Key on April 18th of this year, was well known as a co-creator of the Quacky antenna, which is part Yagi, part Quad. A top-performing contester, he was honored as Radio Amateur of the Year at the Dayton Hamvention in 1980 for his years of contributions to ham radio. Wayne was an educator and a former vice director with the ARRL's Southwestern Division. Angel, who was named Amateur of the Year at Dayton Hamvention in 2021, had worked at the Arecibo Observatory in Puerto Rico since 1977. He had served as head of telescope operations and was the lead operator for 2010 Moon Bounce project at Arecibo, a project that included, among others, fellow Hall of Fame inductee Jim Brinkall. Angel works as the Puerto Rico Coordination Zone Administrator, managed by the National Radio Astronomy Observatory. Jim is a Professor Emeritus of Electrical Engineering at Pennsylvania State University and a leader in cutting-edge antenna technology. He is credited for his work with the numerical electromagnetics code used in antenna analysis. A prolific author and busy contester, Jim has been involved in antenna designs at Arecibo and the HARP facility in Alaska. For more details about the recipients, visit hamgallery.com. This is Travis Lisk and 3ILS.
Congratulations to the winner of the 2025 Amateur Radio Software Award. If you do a lot of portable operating, you may already be very familiar with this program and its developer. Andy Morrison, K9AWM, tells us about them both. Ham2K Portable Logger has been a mainstay in the field for a growing number of portable operators since its development by Sebastian Delmont, Kilo India 2 Delta. The Amateur Radio Software Award Committee has chosen to honor the free downloadable logger, citing its, quote, intuitive, user-friendly interfaces and a suite of convenient features, end quote. The software's support of worldwide flora and fauna, summits on the air, parks on the air, and the ARRL Field Day has helped grow its popularity. Details about the logger can be found at polo.ham2k.com. Meanwhile, mark your calendars for the 7th through the 17th of November, when the committee will activate Special Events Station Kilo 6 Alpha, Kilo 6 Romeo, and Kilo 6 Sierra. That spells ARS for Amateur Radio Software, to honor this year's winner and to solicit nominees for next year's award. The International Award is given for open source software projects that promote innovation and freedom in amateur radio. This is Andy Morrison, K9AWM. Time for you to identify your station. We are the Amateur Radio Newsline, heard on bulletin stations around the world, including the W9BCC repeater in Wausau, Wisconsin, on Sundays at 9 p.m. during the Rib Mountain Repeater Association's Sunday Night SwapNet. Nominations close on the 31st of this month for Newsline's Bill Pasternak Memorial Young Ham of the Year Award. Do you know a promising young amateur who is a potential candidate? Consider nominating an amateur radio operator 18 years of age or younger here in the continental United States. If they have talent, promise, and a commitment to the spirit of ham radio, they might just be this year's award winner. Find applications on our website, arnewsline.org, under the YHOTY tab. The APRS Foundation's inaugural Education Summit, originally scheduled to take place in May, has been postponed until the autumn of this year. The nonprofit group is developing a full day of programming that is geared to both seasoned operators and beginners, anyone interested in using the automatic packet reporting system. Discussions about packet radio will include the fundamentals, but will also address cutting-edge applications and what's in store for the future. Best of all, guests can attend the online seminars and interactive Q&A sessions right from their home QTH. Registration details will appear on the Foundation website at aprsfoundation.org when they are available. The mountainous terrain of the Indian state of Nagaland is daunting, but it is never more daunting than in an emergency when communication cannot afford to fail. An amateur radio training program has been helping state officials train in the latest communication technologies, as we learned from Jim Meechan, ZL2BHF.
Open source classes for amateur radio, also known as Oscar India, has been working with the Nagaland State Disaster Management Authority to sharpen responders' communication skills. In the most recent session, held in late April, participants celebrated a first for responders in the region in northeast India. They successfully used radio signals for image transmission, using the call sign 82NE. District project associates who work for the Disaster Management Authority were able to see the benefit of this image transmission mode. They also received training in antenna building and Morse code. Oscar India's convener, Nilikantha Chatterjee, VU2OII, told local media, quote, "This demonstration proves radio's vital role when modern networks fail. While we have conducted similar transmissions elsewhere, bringing this capability to northeast India's unique landscape is particularly rewarding." End quote. This is Jim Meechan, ZL2BHF.
In West Bengal, India, law enforcement officials in one city are adding amateur radio shacks to police stations. Now they are busy getting volunteers trained and licensed to use them. We have an update from Graham Kemp, VK4BB.
2 months of ham radio training began in late April for civic volunteers who assisted the 26 police stations throughout the city of Barrackpore. The sessions are being conducted by Sarayan Mandal, VU3ZHF, Pashupati Mandal, VU3ODQ, Deepak Chakrabarti, VU2TLW, and Jayanta Bafidya, VU2TFR. All are members of the West Bengal Radio Club. The training is designed to prepare the volunteers for the exam leading to the ham radio certificate from the Ministry of Telecommunications. Radio shacks are expected to be set up at each of the 26 police stations and the police central office. The police commissioner told local media that adding wireless communication to the various modes used by law enforcement will be especially helpful for disaster response. This is Graham Kemp, VK4BB.
The Osaka Kansai Expo 2025 is a major event by the Japan Amateur Radio League that showcases cutting-edge technology and focuses on training and education for the ham community. Jarl is inviting hams around the world to get involved in the months ahead, as we hear from Jason Daniels, VK2 LAW.
Members of the Japan Amateur Radio League are showing their support for the Osaka Kansai Expo 2025 in a big way. For the 184 days, they are calling QOZ with the call sign 8K3EXPO. The expo opened on April 13th with the first QSOs made by JARL President Koji Morita, JA5SUD. Volunteers throughout the organisation will continue the activation until its conclusion on the 13th of October. According to the Expo website, all the radio equipment for this station is being operated remotely, utilising optical fibre. A radio booth is set up next to one of the Expo halls in the East Gate zone and linked to the antenna tower elsewhere on site. Not everything is happening on site. At the same time the 8K3 station is on the air, the mobile station JA3XPO is also being operated by JARL. This is a special call sign that has been reactivated 55 years after its first use at the previous Osaka Expo in 1970. The mobile operation will travel to the 6 prefectures in the Kansai region. Of course, if you think this expo is a big deal, wait until next year when JARL marks 100 years since its founding. For additional information about the expo, see the link in the text version of this week's newscast at arnewsline.org. This is Jason Daniels, VK2LAW.
In the world of DX, listen for the call signs with the special prefixes 4X77 and 4Z77 until the 10th of May. Hams in Israel are celebrating the 77th anniversary since the founding of the Israel Association of Radio Communication and the establishment of the State of Israel. See QRZ.com for more details. Casimir DL2SBY will be using the call sign HB0/DL2SBY from Liechtenstein from the 11th to the 18th of May. Listen for him on the HF bands and on 6 meters. See QRZ.com for details. The call sign II3IARU is being activated by Alex, IV3KKW, to mark the 100th anniversary of the IARU and the 75th anniversary of IARU Region 1. He will be on the air until the 18th of May. QSL via his home call sign. Finally, we hear about a distress call that came in via radio, but this wasn't exactly a local call or even a conventional DX call. How about 26,000 light years from Earth? Ralph Squillaci, KK6ITB, goes the distance with this story.
It's known as the snake, the nickname by which astronomers identify one dense, elongated filament in the center of our Milky Way galaxy. It apparently has suffered fractures in 2 places. As best as scientists can tell, a fast-rotating neutron star known as a pulsar collided with the snake at a not-too-shabby 1 to 2 million miles per hour and caused a fracture that disrupted the snake's magnetic field, releasing radio emissions from the site of the impact. NASA's Chandra X-ray Observatory and the Meerkat Radio Array in South Africa studied the snake, which is 230 light years long, to get a better picture of what scientists compare to fractures in bones. Radio astronomers combined their findings with those of an observatory in San Agustin, Mexico, and recently released a paper in the monthly notices of the London-based Royal Astronomical Society describing the event. Scientists study filaments such as the snake to understand their roles in how stars are formed. Whether the snake can heal is another question altogether. Cosmic veterinarians don't make long-distance house calls. Meanwhile, patient privacy rules do not apply here. So, you can see images of the injury on the Chandra X-ray Observatory website. The link is in the text version of this week's newscast at arnewsline.org. This is Ralph Squillaci, KK6ITB.
Have you sent in your amateur radio haiku to Newsline's Haiku Challenge yet? It's as easy as writing a QSL card. Set your thoughts down using traditional haiku format, a 3-line verse with 5 syllables in the first line, 7 in the second, and 5 in the third. Submit your work on our website, arnewsline.org. Each week's winner gets a shout-out on our website where everyone can find the winning haiku. With thanks to Amateur News Daily, Amateur Radio Software Award, Ambarish Nagbiswas, VU2JFA, AMSAT, Australian Broadcasting Corporation, David BR, K7DB, FCC, HamGallery.com, IFL Science, Jarl, QRZ.com, Nagaland Post, NASA, Radio World, ShortWaveRadio.de, Times of India, U.S. Radio Guy Blog, Wireless Institute of Australia, YouTube, Zero Retries Newsletter, and you, our listeners. That's all from the Amateur Radio Newsline. We remind our listeners that Amateur Radio Newsline is an all-volunteer, non-profit organization that incurs expenses for its continued operation. If you wish to support us, please visit our website at arnewsline.org and know that we appreciate you all. We also remind our listeners that if you like our newscast, please leave us a 5-star rating wherever you subscribe to us. For now, with Karen Eve Murray, KD2GUT at the news desk in New York, and our news team worldwide, I'm Neil Rapp, W9VPG in Union, Kentucky, saying 7-3, and as always, we thank you for listening. Amateur Radio Newsline is copyright 2025, all rights reserved.
This concludes our Monday evening transmission of Amateur Radio Newsline. Net to start in about 8 minutes.
W8VPV. Repeater. W8VPV. Repeater.
Good evening. Calling all amateur radio operators. Welcome to the Cuyahoga Falls Amateur Radio Club Monday night VHF UHF net. My name is John and my call is W03X. However, for the purposes of this net, I'll be using the club call Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor. This is an open directed net. All amateur radio operators are invited and encouraged to check in. You do not have to be a club member. All traffic will go through net control, and since emergency traffic may break in at any time, Please leave a brief pause between transmissions. The purpose of this net is to bring together all amateur radio operators for the exchanging of amateur-related ideas and information to enhance net operating practices and to keep members up to date about club happenings. This net meets here every Monday evening at 8:30 p.m. local time, preceded by Amateur Radio Newsline at 8:01. We will start with announcements and then ask for check-ins from any officer or member who has an announcement of general interest to the club. Once that is complete, I'll take check-ins, call signs only, 5 at a time, and confirming each call. Then I'll correspond with the 5 check-ins and ask for 5 more until we're done or until the activity slows down. If you're a regular participant, I'll probably recognize you by call sign. If not, please give your call, repeated phonetically, followed by your name and your location. When all check-ins have been corresponded with, I will repeat the announcements and then give one last call for check-ins. We also operate a band exploration net at 9:30 p.m. after this net. Please join us if you have the privileges and equipment. This evening, it will be on 10 meters on or about 28.360 megahertz. Okay, this is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor. Here are the announcements. Our next meeting will be this Wednesday, that's May 14th at 7:30 p.m. In person, it will be at the Pilgrim United Church, which has an address of 130 Broad Boulevard in Cuyahoga Falls. But you get to the meeting by going to the parking lot, which is on 2nd Street just south of Broad Boulevard, and then enter the building off the corner of the parking lot. You can also participate actively by using Zoom, and that link will be on our webpage, www.cfarc.org, along the right side. Scroll down to that date, May 14th, and you'll see the Zoom link there. We're asking those who attend in person to please bring one canned food item for as a token of appreciation of their letting us use their facility for our meeting. Some of the usual attendees to our meeting will not be there. They will be preparing for the Xenia Hamvention there that starts at the end of the week and goes over the weekend. On May 31st is a POTA activation activity, and the Cuyahoga Falls Amateur Radio Club will be setting up on the grounds of the church in the valley, which is just off of Everett Road. If you would like to participate in that, there's a sign-up link there. Go to the postings on the left side of our page and scroll down to there's an announcement in April, and you'll see it there, and there's a link for a sign-up sheet so that we know how much food and drinks to get for that activity. Also, let us know what type of help that you can do, and the times. You can choose times, and you can help with running a single sideband station or CW station or FT8, FT4, or you can help with setting up the antennas and stuff, or help with tearing them down. It's all in there in the sign-up sheet. It has times and what type of activity that you choose to do. For our meeting, we may have our new club radio, the Yaesu FT710, at the meeting, and we may have a slideshow about it also. So come on to the meeting and see what we have there for the club. Okay, that's all that I have in the way of announcements. So this is Whiskey 8, Victor Papa Victor, asking for any officer or member who has an announcement of general interest to the club.
Whiskey 8, Echo Zulu Tango.
Whiskey 8, Echo Zulu Tango. Go ahead, Frank.
All right, good evening, John. In from working on a lawnmower today. Just to give you a quick update, we'll add a little more absoluteness to this. Yes, Wednesday we'll be meeting at the Pilgrim United Church, downtown Cuyahoga Falls. We will have the club's new radio. Thanks to the success of the Hamfest, we were able to go out and buy a new radio. DX Engineering helped a little bit. We have an FT710. We'll have it at the meeting. We'll do an unboxing. I'll bring a switching power supply. We're going to try to rig up some kind of an antenna. We've got a couple of YouTube videos here. Get a pencil ready if you want to do some advanced research, and we'll try to go through it and learn how it works a little bit. Obviously, it'll be available up in the clubhouse later on. Two YouTube videos that we will have access to and be watching are titled Yaesu FT710 Beginner's Guide by M0FXB, Michael 0 Foxtrot X-Ray Baker. And there's a big long YouTube thing, but if you search on that title, you'll get it. The other one will be, let me pause for time. The other video you can probably find by searching on Yaesu FT710 Beginner's Guide by Whiskey Charlie 0 Charlie, WC0C. We'll be looking at those two. If you're a club member out there or somebody else who has a 710 and knows your way around it, we definitely invite and encourage you to come on out and show us, because I just got one and I've not had a chance to even power it up yet. I'm going to see if I can do that before this, but we'll see what happens. So that's what's happening Wednesday. We're going to try to rig up some kind of an antenna. It looks like it might be raining, but we'll see what we can do. And of course, any officers, trustees, I sure would need your help putting it on. So that's all I got, John. We'll hand it back to you. W8EZT back to net.
Okay, Frank, did you see my email about that wire antenna that I was thinking of bringing, but it seems to me like it's way too long, and it may be a little bit rainy that day. Over?
I would say if you can bring it anyway. It may be long, but it may be the only thing we've got. I've got a fiberglass vertical, similar to the one, shorter, but similar to the one we were putting up at Ron Day's house the other day. I was going to try to bring that along, and I've got some ground radials and maybe swing that out in the little courtyard of the church there and try to do that. But we'll make something happen. After all, this is ham radio, and we handle situations like that.
Okay, yeah, I'll bring it along. I'll try it in my yard here and see what it looks like match-wise, and then I'll fold it back up in a nice, easy manner and bring that along. Okay, very good. So thanks for checking in. 73, have a good evening, and hope to hear you on 10 meters. Okay, this is Whiskey 8, Victor Papa Victor. Are there any other officers or members who have an announcement of general interest to the club?
John, W8ECT.
Go ahead, Frank.
Do you have a piece of coax, a section of coax, maybe RG8 or 9913 or something like that, maybe 100 feet long you can bring along?
Let's see, I might. I'll look around. I may have something.
On second thought, never mind. I'm going to have to go to the clubhouse to get the radio anyway and the projector, and I'll just raid our field day coax and pull a section there. So, all right, I think we got coax covered then. Thanks. I'll let you get on with it at W8ECT.
Okay, Frank. Yeah, I pulled you out of the pile up there, you know, in the check-ins there. So, thanks for checking in, and hope to hear you on 10 meters. Okay, so this is Whiskey 8, Victor Papa Victor. Are there any other officers or members who have an announcement of general interest to the club?
Charlie 8 X-ray Oscar.
Go ahead, Vince.
Hello, John. Hello, Frank. Just wanted to thank everyone for contributing to the newsletter and think about what you want for June. Anybody going to this thing down in Xenia? Take pictures. Write an article. Don't just send me pictures. Write an article. You know, say what you think about the Dayton Hamfest or Xenia Hamfest. Anyway, that's all I got, John. Alpha Charlie 8 X-ray Oscar, back to net.
Okay, Vince, sounds good. So thanks for mentioning that, and hopefully we'll get some nice articles about the hamvention there. AC8XO, this is Whiskey 8, Victor Papa Victor 73, and have a good evening. Okay, are there any other officers or members who have an announcement of general interest to the club? Okay, not hearing any. This is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor with John W03X at the mic, asking for check-ins. I'll take 5 at a time. K8HMS, I have you, Steve. We'll get back with you in a moment. Another check-in, please.
PU?
K8PU, I have you, Larry. We'll get back with you. Another check-in, please.
V8VHK, John and Kenmore.
And Kenmore, please repeat the call sign.
8 Victor Hotel Kilo, John.
Okay, I got you. Victor Hotel Kilo. Another check-in, please.
KE8 TQR, Keith in Uniontown.
KE8 TQR. Thanks, Keith. We'll get back with you in a moment. Let's see, how many do we have here? One more. Not quite making it into the repeater. It brings it up, but but only for a moment.
KE8 DTA, Jeff in New Franklin.
Okay, Jeff in New Franklin, we got you. Okay, so That's 5, so let's go up to Steve, K8HMS. Go ahead.
W8VPV. That's the 440 side. Yeah, just say good evening to everybody. Just been busy with the good weather and everything here, and a few other thanks for running the net, John, and we'll try to crack.
Okay, Steve, you dropped out at the end there, but we got most of what you said there, so thanks for checking in, and we'll be on 10 meters at 9:30. Okay, let's see, next was Larry, K8PU. Go ahead, Larry, with your comments.
That obscene sound getting over. Nothing new and exciting here, John. Just another one for the numbers, and catch you over on 10 meters, 9:30, and look forward to seeing everybody Wednesday evening. Those meetings are few and far between, it seems like, anymore, but it's always good to get together and see the guys again, so look forward to that. Okay, catch you 9:30. Back to you, John, W8VPV, K8PU.
Okay, Larry, sounds good. I'll listen for you on 10 meters there. Okay, let's see. Next was John. Let's see. I have I'm not sure if I got all the call, but I have K8VHK. I may be missing a letter. Go ahead, John.
Yeah, it's John, Kilo Bravo 8 Victor Hotel Kilo. Just want to say hi to everybody on the net. Looking forward to Xenia. I actually haven't been down to the Ham Fest since probably 98, 99, somewhere around there, back when the Pioneer Club was still my club of choice at the time. But yeah, we're going to take the motorhome down. We're going to stay down at Cedar Creek State Park. I'm looking to buy a new portable antenna, break for time. Hoping to activate Cedar Creek State Park. That's where I'm going to be staying at. Tow my Jeep down, drive up to the Ham Fest, and hopefully get some goodies in the bag. Other than that, that's all I got for the net. Just, like I said, waiting to go down to Xenia and hoping to have some fun.
Okay, John, it sounds good. So I hope you have fun there. And yeah, I got your call corrected here, KB8VHK. Very good, thanks. 73, and have a good evening. Maybe we'll hear you on 10 meters. Okay, next is Keith, KE8TQR. Go ahead, Keith, with your comments.
W8VPV, this is KE8TQR. Good evening, John. Thanks for taking my check-in. And good evening to everyone else here on the net. Yep, I know everyone's looking toward the weekend. There's probably going down to Hamvention. I'm not going to make it again. Never been there. I live in the state, I've never been there. Anyway, what did I do today? Oh, I did a little work outside, and then I've been down here in the shack. It's net night, so I've been hitting a couple of nets, and I wanted to stop in here as well. But I made some contacts on HF today. I hit the Faroe Islands up in the Norwegian Sea, and I did hit Austria as well. But the coolest one was a contact I made down in Puerto Rico. I talked to a gentleman down there. His call sign is WP3K, I think it is. Let me look it up. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what it is. Anyway, WP3K. WP3K, yes, that's it. And his name's Angel. He works for the Arecibo Observatory down there in Puerto Rico. He's worked there since back before 2000. And I was very sad to hear that it collapsed back in 2020. But the coolest thing is I'm sitting here listening to the amateur news here tonight before the net, and I guess that he has actually been accepted into the National Radio Hall of Fame. I guess it's the CQ Hall of Fame. And it just floored me that I talked to him this afternoon, and then I hear his name on the radio being accepted into the Hall of Fame. So I just thought that was so cool to actually talk to the gentleman this afternoon, all in the same day. But anyway, I better get off here. I'm running this thing out of time. Just want to wish everyone a great evening and a great rest of the weekend. I hope all of them are going down to the ham bench to stay safe and have a...
Repeater, timeout. Time. Repeater. Out.
Yeah, Keith, very good. It just timed out on you right after you said the word safe. So what was that guy's call sign?
His call sign was WP3R. His name is Angel Vasquez.
Okay, yeah, I see it there. Okay, great. Yeah, yeah, he was mentioned on that amateur radio newsline. So yeah, very good. That's great. Okay, thanks for checking in, and hope to hear you on 10 meters. Okay, let's see. So who was next here? Let's see. We have W8VPV, Jeff in New Franklin. Go ahead.
Correction on the call sign. It is KF8 Kilo Foxtrot 8 Delta Tango Alpha. Yeah, we had a nice day today. Went out for the kids' softball and enjoyed. They all got hits today, and we're really proud of them girls. Got a Puerto Rico HF contact this weekend. Didn't think I was going to get anything because the bands didn't seem like they were open, but pretty excited about that. Hope to make it to your club meeting. This is KF8DTA going back to net 73.
Yeah, okay, Jeff. Yeah, I had it written down here, right? But if I look at it from an angle, the K that I wrote looks like a W, so that's what happened there. Okay, thanks for checking in, and congratulations on that contact there. So maybe we'll hear you on 10 meters this evening, 28.360. Okay, that takes us to the bottom of the list. So this is Whiskey 8, Victor Papa Victor, with John W03X at the mic, asking for check-ins.
Kilo Foxtrot 8, Alpha Victor Delta, KF8 ABV, Tony, Merriman Valley.
Yeah, go ahead, Tony. The activity slowed down here, so I'll go one at a time now.
Thanks. Nothing really to report. However, if anyone's coming to the POTA in the Valley activity, if you could bring a antenna analyzer, I would like to get a better read on my NFED half-wave, borrow it for about 15 minutes, and see what I actually see better than my VNA. Back to net control.
Okay, Tony, yeah, that sounds good. Let's see. I'm not sure how we could mention that, but I'll mention that at the end of the net there again. Okay, thanks for checking in. 73, have a good evening. Okay, this is Whiskey 8, Victor Papa Victor, asking for check-ins.
K8 ULA, no traffic, in and out.
W8VPV. Repeater.
KEAULA, we have you checked in and out. Thanks for checking in, 73, and have a good evening. Another check-in, please.
W8VPV, this is Kilo Echo 8, Victor Quebec X-Ray, KE8VQX, Joe in Akron.
KE8VQX, Joe in Akron, go ahead with your comments.
W8VPV, KE8VQX, thanks for getting me in there, John. Tried you on the first round on an HD on the patio, but normally I can get in okay. Must have been where I was standing. Anyways, but no real traffic. Just wanted to say hello to everyone. I'm just compiling my list of junk to bring to Hamvention, and look forward to seeing anyone and everyone down there. I'll be there Friday and most of Saturday. So anyway, this is KE8VQX. Back to you, John, and net control.
Okay, Joe, sounds good. Have fun down there, and hopefully you can sell some of the stuff that you take there. Very good. Thanks for checking in, 73, and have a good evening. This is Whiskey 8, Victor Papa Victor with John, W03X at the mic, asking for check-ins.
This is Kilo Echo 8, Uniform Lima Charlie, KE8ULC, Kurt.
KE8ULC, Kurt, go ahead with your comments.
Sorry about checking in later into the net here this evening. I've been downloading files from old university computers on hard disks as I get ready to retire. I'm just making a call out to Jim, Anthony, and Frank for doing the class for the EXA class that they did for 8 weeks. That's the amount of work they do. So the club could be quite proud of all that they do for everyone. Back to you there, John, at W8VPV.
Thanks, Kurt. Yeah, that is a considerable amount of effort there to put something like that on for 8 weeks. It apparently helped you because you passed that test there on Saturday. So thanks for checking in, 73, and maybe we'll hear you on 10 meters this evening. Okay, this is John, W03X, with asking for check-ins. This W8VPV, net control.
November 8, America, Charlie Papa, Chris, Cadillac Hill, Akron.
N8ACP, Chris, go ahead with your comments.
Yeah, good afternoon, John. Good evening, I should say, and nice to hear everybody out there. Congratulations to the folks that passed their exam on Saturday. Good to hear, as always. And anybody that upgraded from technician to general or extra, the HF bands were wiped out pretty much for a better part of a week, really. But it sounds like they're coming back. I was able to hear Indonesia and Angola and Europe today without too much of an issue. So I didn't work anybody, but I could hear them real well, and that's been a change for the last couple of days. So that's all the news from me. I'll turn it back to you, John. Whiskey 8, Victor Papa Victor from November 8 Alpha, Charlie Papa 73. We'll try and catch you on time.
Okay, Chris, very good, and thanks for that information about the bands. So, yeah, I hope to hear you there on 10 meters. Okay, this is Whiskey 8, Victor Papa Victor with John, W03X at the mic, asking for check-ins.
KE8KVI, Ron, in and out.
KE8KVI, Ron, we have you in and out. Thanks for checking in, 73, and have a good evening. This is Whiskey 8, Victor Papa Victor, asking for check-ins.
KF8,
KFUA, Eric and Stowe, in and out.
Let's see, was that KF8 CUA Charlie United Alpha?
That's correct, John. Thanks.
Okay, we got you on the list here. Thanks for checking in, 73, and have a good evening. Another check-in, please. That signal was not making it into the repeater very well. Maybe you're on a handheld and change your position or something. Over.
Trying again. Here is KE8NMZ Kilo Echo 8 November Mike Zulu. The name is Mark. Mobile in Massillon. In and out.
Okay, KE8NMZ NM Zulu. We got you mobile. Thanks for checking in, 73, and have a good evening. Another check-in, please.
Recheck, John, W8EZT.
Go ahead, Frank.
I think I heard one of our students, John, in there who passed the extra exam the other day, and I want to thank him for all the work he put into it, because I know there's a lot of work there, and I will pass on his accolades to both Jim and Anthony, both of which will be down at Dayton this weekend. So very good. We've got 9 or 10 already passed, and the number keeps growing, so we're very excited, and we will be doing this class again next year. That's all I got. Back to net, W8EZT.
Yeah, okay, Frank, very good. Yeah, that's good. That is really a big help there, getting new licensees there, and higher licenses too on top of it. Okay, this is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor asking for check-ins. Okay, I don't hear any at this time. I'll repeat the announcements. Let's see, there was a request from Tony to bring an antenna analyzer to the POTA activation there on May 31st at the church in the valley. That's just off of Everett Road there. He would like to have an additional measurement in addition to his VNA. Let's see. Okay, now this Wednesday, that's May 14th at 7:30 p.m. is the Cuyahoga Falls Amateur Radio Club meeting, and you can attend in person at the Pilgrim United Church. It has an address of 130 Broad Boulevard in Cuyahoga Falls, but you get to the meeting by going to the parking lot, which is on 2nd Street just south of Broad Boulevard, and then enter the building off the corner of the parking lot to get to our meeting. If you are not going to attend in person, you can attend actively using Zoom, and so go to our webpage, www.cfarc.org, and on the right side, scroll down to that date, May 14th, and there is a link for Zoom. So click on that, and you can be an active participant in the meeting. what we will be highlighting at the meeting is a Yaesu FT710, which the club has purchased for use at the clubhouse. And so we may have, we will have a couple of videos about it, and also we may be able to set up an antenna to do a little bit of operating with it. Okay, I'm not sure what's going on there, but we may have an antenna there that will enable us to do a little bit of operating with that Yaesu FT710. So come on to the meeting and see the new radio and see it in operation. Okay, let's see here. So one of the check-ins here mentioned that the HF bands were down for about a week or so, but they are starting to come back up to a usable level now. And we had an announcement by the newsletter editor to start thinking about articles for the June newsletter. In particular, he mentioned if you go to the Hamvention to take some pictures and also write an article about what you saw there and what you did and so forth at the Hamvention. Okay, that's all that I have in the way of announcements. So this is Whiskey 8, Victor Papa Victor, last call for check-ins.
W8VPV, this is KF8 DGD, Bill in Macedonia, checking in. Just got out of a meeting, wanted to check in before he went off the air.
Okay, Bill, we got you in there. Thanks for checking in.
Hey, I'll be in and out, John. Have a good evening, and 73 to everyone.
Thanks a lot. Thanks for checking in. You're number 16 there. That's pretty good. Okay, last call for check-ins. This is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor. Let's see. Repeat that call sign, please.
Whiskey 8 kilowatt Foxtrot Whiskey W8 Kentucky Fried Whiskey.
Okay, W8 Kentucky Fried Whiskey. We got you. You have any comments?
No, I just got home and turned it on. I just wanted to check in for the numbers and say hello.
Okay, thanks for checking in. Very good. That adds one more to our count there. Thanks. Okay, this is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor. Last call for check-ins. Okay, not hearing any. In preparing to close this net, I would like to thank all of you who took the time to join us and check in tonight. Without your participation, there would be no net. This has been John, and my call is W03X, and it's been my pleasure to host this evening's net. At this time, I will close the net with 18 check-ins counting myself and return the repeater to normal customary amateur radio use. This is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor closing the net at 9:11 p.m. local time. 7-3.
W8VPV. Repeater TL110.9.
Director Net, all amateur radio operators are invited during the course to check in. You do not have to be a club member. All traffic is open net control. In case emergency traffic may break in at any time, please do your brief pause between transmission. The purpose of this net is to bring together all amateur radio operators for the exchanging of amateur-related ideas and information to enhance net operating practices. And to keep members up to date about what happens. Does somebody have a break in there? Okay, which field is the proposition? Let's see. Okay, this band activation does reach every Monday evening at 9:30 p.m. local time. Received by the VHF net at 8:30 and amateur radio Newsline at 8:01. The band and frequency of the net is on our calendar, but on www.cfart.org. And it goes on along the right side there to the gate. And you can see what band and frequency will be on. And checking into your call repeater for melody followed by your name and your location. Also, you let me know if you have any comments or traffic for the net or if you're checking in and out. I will start with announcements and then call for officers or members who have items of special interest for the club. For the net. When all have checked in, I will review the announcements. After that, I'll give one last call for check-ins and then close the net. Here's the announcement. The next regular meeting of the Cuyahoga Falls Amateur Radio Club will be this Wednesday, that's May 13th at 7:30 p.m. You can attend in person or on Zoom. If you're going to attend in person, we will be meeting at the Pilgrim United Church in Cuyahoga Falls, which has a listed address of 130 Broad Boulevard, but you get to the meeting by going to the parking lot, which is on 2nd Street, just south of Broad Boulevard, and then enter the building Yeah, you're way above the noise. I got your solid edge switch in. Let's see what my noise level is here. The noise level is only at left, so it's a very good signal. Very good. Thanks for checking in. 22 and have a good evening. Okay, that takes us to the bottom of the list. So we're through. UTA, Victor Papa Victor with John, W8VPV at the mic, asking for questions.
KATU.
KATU, go ahead, Larry.
Well, evening, John. Everybody in the net. Like I say, nothing really exciting.